So in this video, we're going to explain what a wet-on-wet application is. When we're talking water repellents, we're going to suggest that it is a wet-on-wet application for two coats. Wet-on-wet is just what it is, or what it sounds like. It is one coat, and then the second coat goes on while the first coat is still wet. Because it's a water-based water repellent, if you allow that first coat to dry, it's going to want to repel itself. So we do this wet-on-wet application. So you'll see here, we start our first application, nice, even, consistent coats, working in a circular motion to keep it consistent. Just working across the surface, making sure to saturate all areas. Okay. So again, I've got my football cleats here on, golf spikes, baseball cleats, epoxy spikes, whatever you need to put on. Main thing is minimizing that surface contact so we don't trap dirt and dust and debris off of our shoes. So we're going to minimize that surface contact by wearing cleats so that we get back out on here for our wet-on-wet application. You can still see obviously that the surface is still wet, but what we're trying to do is hit these spots that are starting to penetrate in and while they're still wet so that it doesn't repel itself. So again, just a nice quick even coat. You can put this coat on at a little less volume because your first coat is still penetrating in and has that surface saturated, especially in areas where we can see that it still has plenty of material. So we're about midway through this driveway and you can see that it's already dry, pretty much dry up there, but it's already repelling water. What we're doing is just taking this roller and you can maybe see it in the video there, but we got a little bit of a puddled area here. So all we want to do is soak that up and or move it to an area that it is not going to puddle. Leaving holdout in a puddle would dry in a white film or a white crust residue and leave it a little ugly looking. So we just don't want to let it puddle. That's the key with the holdout. It's just not letting it dry in a puddle and allowing it to saturate the surface.